Stephen A. Smith doesn't just watch baseball, he experiences it, and Game 3 between the Blue Jays and Mariners sent him into absolute overdrive. Toronto didn't just win, they made a statement, dismantling Seattle 11-2 in a performance so dominant it shifted the entire series. This wasn't competitive baseball, this was a masterclass meeting pitching collapse, and Smith's unfiltered commentary became the soundtrack to Seattle's nightmare. The Blue Jays scored 11 runs on 16 hits while the Mariners managed just 2 runs, a 9-run margin that doesn't capture how thoroughly Toronto controlled this game. Kevin Gausman delivered 7 innings of 2-run baseball, striking out 9 while surrendering just 4 hits. His changeup generated a 31% whiff rate, and Seattle's hitters looked completely overmatched. Toronto finished batting .421 with runners in scoring position, going 8 for 19 in clutch situations, while Seattle went 1 for 7. Bo Bichette went 3 for 5 with 2 doubles and 3 RBIs, raising his series average to .372. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. crushed a 3-run homer that traveled 418 feet. George Kirby lasted just 3 2/3 innings, surrendering 7 earned runs on 10 hits. Seattle's bullpen fared no better, with the staff throwing only 57% strikes. Rogers Center hit 48,000 fans at 99.5% capacity. Ticket resale prices had climbed 43% in the 24 hours before first pitch. ESPN's broadcast drew 2.84 million viewers, a 37% increase from Game 2. Combined with Sportsnet's 1.62 million Canadian viewers, this became the highest-rated game for either franchise in 4 seasons. Stephen A. Smith's halftime reaction generated 3.7 million Twitter views within 6 hours. His clip about Guerrero's homer drove a 28% ESPN website traffic spike and pushed Blue Jays search queries up 64%. The betting markets responded immediately. Toronto's series odds moved from -180 to -300. FanDuel reported a 41% handle increase on Blue Jays bets. Game 3 fundamentally altered the series' psychology. Seattle's bullpen faces critical shortage. Penn Muffy threw 28 pitches, Matt Brash 22, both now unavailable or limited for Game 4. Toronto's Jordan Romano didn't pitch at all. Eric Swanson is fully rested, and Tim Meza threw just 11 pitches in Game 2. The Blue Jays enter the potential closeout game with every weapon available, while Seattle scrambles. Toronto's series odds crashed to -300, implying 75% probability of advancing. DraftKings reported 68% of post-game series bets came on the Blue Jays, with average wager size jumping from $87 to $143, sharp money flooding Toronto. Julio Rodriguez struggles magnify Seattle's crisis. He's hitting just .167 with no extra base hits and 7 strikeouts in 18 plate appearances. His .444 OPS suggests a hitter crushed by pressure. Game 5 ticket sales in Seattle jumped 32%, but resale prices dropped 23%, reflecting market pessimism. Smith's first take appearance drew 1.93 million viewers, up 22%, generating 4.8 million video views across platforms within 24 hours. Toronto's 11-run explosion ranks as their 3rd highest playoff scoring output in franchise history, trailing only their 15-run demolition of Texas in 2015 and 13 runs against Baltimore in 1993. Like the Bautista bat flip game, this wasn't just about runs, it was psychological obliteration. Compare this to history's most lopsided Game 3 performances. Boston's 16-1 destruction of New York in 2004 ALCS, Houston's 7-0 shutout of the Yankees in 2019, LA's 15-3 beatdown of Atlanta in 2020. These games don't just change scores, they shift momentum permanently. Seattle's collapse evokes their 10-run loss to Houston in last year's ALDS elimination game. For a franchise reaching playoffs just twice in 22 years, these repeated October failures create psychological scars difficult to overcome. Guerrero's 3-run homer gives him 7 career postseason homers at age 26, matching Miguel Cabrera and approaching Bryce Harper's 8. His career postseason line of .293/368/547 compares favorably to Goldschmidt and Freeman at similar stages. Bichette's .308 playoff average through 21 games exceeds Young, Linder, and Turner. Gausman's game score of 72 ranks 91st percentile over the past decade. His playoff ERA of 3.21 beats his regular season 3.68, joining Max Scherzer as pitchers who elevate in October rather than shrink. Fanatics reported a 73% Blue Jays merchandise surge in 12 post-game hours, with Guerrero jerseys accounting for 38% of transactions. Nike's MLB store saw Toronto climb to second most purchased team across all sports, trailing only the Cowboys and surpassing every NBA team despite basketball season underway. Ontario sportsbooks processed $41.6 million in Blue Jays wagers during Game 3 alone, up 68% from Game 2's $24.8 million. BetMGM's largest payout came from a Mississauga bettor who won $11,750 on a $5,000 Blue Jays wager. Game 4 ticket prices jumped 49% in 6 hours post-game, lower bowl seats from $270 to $415. That velocity rarely occurs outside championship scenarios. Rogers Communications generates $12.4 million per home playoff game. Analysts estimate a deep run increases Rogers' enterprise value by $180 million through revenue and brand equity. Blue Jays hashtags generated 2.87 million Twitter mentions during game, up 134% from Game 2. Guerrero's homer clips hit 9.2 million TikTok views within 24 hours. Smith's viral clip generated 42 million impressions across all platforms, producing roughly $57,000 in direct ESPN advertising revenue, while driving traffic and elevating first-take viewership. Game 4 presents Seattle with nearly insurmountable odds. Chris Bassett starts for Toronto against Luis Castillo. The bullpen math overwhelmingly favors Toronto. Romano hasn't pitched since Game 1. Swanson threw just 14 pitches in Game 2. Seattle has only Paul Sewell fully fresh, with Brash and Muffy compromised. Teams trailing 2-1 in best-of-5 win Game 4 just 43% of the time, and win the deciding Game 5 48%. Seattle's combined probability of winning twice straight sits at 21%. They need Castillo's perfection, Rodriguez' revival, and flawless bullpen management simultaneously. If Toronto wins Friday, they face Houston in the ALCS with tremendous momentum. The Astros went 7-6 against Toronto during regular season versus 8-4 against Seattle. Houston likely prefers facing the Mariners. Scott's survey faces hot seat questions if consecutive playoff eliminations result from questionable bullpen management. Game 3 wasn't merely victory. It was a statement revealing the chasm between a team built for October and one still learning playoff baseball. Toronto's dominance, Gausman's mastery, and the Rogers Center atmosphere combined to break Seattle psychologically. Smith's reaction captured what millions witnessed. This wasn't competitive, it was execution. Seattle faces cruel mathematics, win 2 straight with depleted bullpen, struggling superstar, and psychological weight of national embarrassment. History suggests their season ends Friday. The business metrics: 2.84 million viewers, 73% merchandise spikes, 41.6 million betting handle, prove this series captured mainstream attention baseball rarely achieves outside the World Series. Debate question 1. Are the Blue Jays legitimate World Series contenders capable of matching Houston's pedigree, or simply riding unsustainable momentum? Debate question 2. Does Rodriguez's postseason struggle reveal fatal flaws under pressure, or is this temporary variance every young star experiences before mastering October? Retry.